Hello everybody, welcome to Totally Tabled. My name is Shaggy, and today I'm doing a full solo playthrough of Revive. It's been 5,000 years since the end of the world, and finally the ice is starting to recede. We play leaders of a tribe trying to rebuild the world according to our own ideals. So we're going to be exploring the icy land, building buildings, expanding, populating locations, discovering new technologies, and most importantly, earning victory points. Now I went ahead and I got everything set up for the solo game. I selected a random leader and I got Kunaban. I'm using the A starter deck, shuffled the 6 cards, drew out 3. That's going to be our starting hand. I also drew a random artifact card. That's going to be ways for us to score points at the end of the game. Start with 1 crystal, 1 energy, and I've placed the action marker on the 20 spot. We want to make sure our switch is in the on or unused position, and then that's pretty much it. We're ready to begin the game. Now this game uses a 5-game campaign, so the first thing that we would do is we would read the top card from that deck that says stop on it. That's the campaign deck. Now, you're just going to get a little bit of story, and then you're going to jump into your first game, so I'm not going to bother doing that. I'll let you discover that on your own. As you would play games, you would go through that deck, it would unlock different things, so we're not playing with any of that for this game right now. You could also optionally just ignore the campaign and unlock everything right from the beginning. I don't want to spoil any of that just in case someone's interested in going through that campaign. So there's no spoilers here at all. Now in the solo game, we're not playing against another opponent. We're just trying to get a high score, and this marker is tracking how many more card actions we have until the end of the game. One of the actions we can do on our turn is to play one of our cards in our hand into one of these slots. You can see the card has a top side and a bottom side. So if we were to slide this in like that, we would get to do whatever's on the bottom, or alternatively, if we put it on top, we would get to do what's on top. Anytime we take one of those card actions, we have to move this cube up 1 space. Just counting down to the end of the game, when we get to the 0, we can no longer take any card actions. We'll eventually pass and then end the game. And we actually have 5 different actions that we can do on our turn. It's all shown right here. I'm going to go through all of those as we play. Alternatively, you can hibernate, which is kind of like ending the round. Some different things will happen, we'll get some more cards, some things will reset, and that costs us 2 card actions. So that's going to move the marker up 2 every time we hibernate. All the other actions that we do, they don't cost us card actions. So we can do those as much as we want without progressing the end of the game. So like I always do, we're just going to jump in and start playing, and I'll explain all the rules as we go. Now these resources down here are the key to us taking all of these different actions. You can see there's 3 main resources: gears, books, and food. And then we have crystals, which are kind of a wild resource. So right now we need to get some resources, and that's where our cards come into play. I think right off the bat, I want to play this card to one of the top slots. You can see here we have 2 top slots, 2 bottom slots, and then a side slot there that we have to unlock. Now, because we played a card, we have to move that up 1, and we just get whatever is shown on the top there. In that case, it's 2 gears. We now have enough gears to build our first building, and I'd like to go ahead and do that right away. You can see here we have 2 different types of buildings here. We have small buildings, which cost 3 gears to build, and large buildings, which cost 5. I'm going to go ahead and spin the 2 gears that we have and our 1 crystal for the 3rd gear and build a building out onto the map. And I want to build it right here. At the beginning of the game, we start from this middle hex. And anytime you do something on the board, you have to think about the distance that you're traveling to do it. So in this case, because I'm adjacent, that's 0 distance. But let's say I wanted to build right here. Well, between the location that I'm building and the center spot, that would be 1 hex between there. So that would be 1 distance. And for each hex like that, we have to spend a food. Since I don't have any food, I can't do that. I'm going to build right there, adjacent, so it's 0 distance. From now on, we're going to be measuring distance away from our pieces on the board. Whatever I do next is going to be measured from that building. Now you can only build buildings on these sort of sand spots here, these blank spots. And you get to sort of activate the spots that are adjacent to it. So in this case, we have one yellow technology spot and one gray technology spot adjacent, which just lets us move our technology markers one space forward. So we get to move our yellow tech one space forward and our gray tech. You can see here we have yellow, gray, and green on these funky little tech tracks. And now that we've reached this spot with our technology marker, we can unlock it. We take this and we put it on this track. We're going to be filling up this track. These purple numbers here are points at the end of the game. And you can see some of these spots will give us more electricity and maybe some artifacts. We'll talk about those. But because we reached those two spots, we've now unlocked a little bit of tech that we can use our energy in order to take advantage of. Right now we only have one energy, and each of these requires one energy to use. We'll talk about those as we use them. And now I also built adjacent to one of these water spaces. And the first time you build adjacent to one of those, you just get the reward that's shown. In this case, we get one of these slot module tokens. At the beginning of the game, we had 5 out there that we could choose from. And I think, yeah, I want to go with this one right here. And now we can place it in any of these places. You can see here there's space for 2 slots in each of the bottom areas and 3 in each of the top, and then 2 here on the side. I'm going to go and place it right there. And because we put in that first slot with the green check mark, that means we get the reward from that slot right away, which in this case is a crystal. And from now on, we'll get that reward anytime we place a card in that slot that matches the color on it. That particular token shows yellow, so we have to use a yellow card. Some of the modules have 2 different colors, which makes them just a little bit more flexible. And now we just refill the market, and there we go. We got the benefit of that. We can't get that again. You only get that the first time that you build adjacent to it. I think I now want to play this card down here. Oh, so we have to move this up 1 because we played a card. And now my reward is to get another one of these modules. I think I like this one. And I'm just going to put it right here. It's going to activate immediately. And that's going to give me 2 food. It only activates immediately because I put it in that first slot. These other slots won't activate immediately. And now I want to play another card. We'll move that forward up there. Because we put a yellow card with a yellow module, we get the reward, another crystal, and we're going to get a food book. Now we're loaded up with resources, we can start taking a few other actions. And the next one I want to do is to populate. Populate lets us take one of these people that are on our player boards and put them out into these locations. We have these 2 small locations there, and then we also have these big locations on the sides of the board there. Now, when you're picking these meeples, you have to start here at the bottom, and then you can work your way up following these lines. So we have to start here, and the cost of doing this is shown on the side there. It's going to take 2 books in order to place that meeple out. Well, we only have 1 book, and we could spend one of our crystals, but instead I'm going to do another one of our actions that we can do, which is to flip our switch down and take a resource of our choice. And we'll take a book. You can't take a crystal, but you can take any one of the basic resources. Now we can spend those 2 books to put this character out. Now I want to place them right there. And as you can see, from our house that we've already played, that's going to be a distance of 1. So we're going to have to spend 1 food. But instead of doing that, I'm actually going to spend my energy right here to take that special ability, which is giving us basically 1 free distance for this action. So that's going to save us a food. We place the person there, and what that's done is it's unlocked a special ability here. Now when we gain new cards into our deck, we'll get a resource that corresponds with the color of that card. That's going to be great because we're going to be hoping to draft some of these really good cards into our deck. In fact, the plan is to do that right now because I want to take the fifth and final action that you can do, and that is explore. At the beginning of the game, we have these starter tiles flipped up, but we have all of this unexplored area. What I'd like to do is I'd like to explore this space right there. You can see it's adjacent to the person we just put down, and so it's at a 0 distance. So we won't have to spend any extra food, but we do have to spend the cost that's shown right here, which is 2 food. You can see some of the spaces cost 3 food, some cost a mixture of food and books. But we have a nice little easy spot right here that's only going to take 2 food. We then get the points that are shown on the back, in that case just 1. And unlike these sort of purple points, the blue points we get right away. And that makes a difference because as we progress down this track, you can see we actually get some rewards as we go down. And the next thing we get to do is we get to draft a card from the card row. We'll get to do that every time we explore. And I think I would like to get... I think I want to get another yellow card into my deck. Yeah, we'll take this one. And when you get a card, it actually goes into your play area. Something that you can play right away. We then reveal another card. And now that we got those rewards, we can flip the tile. And we can actually orient this either this way or this way. It's our choice. And I want to orient it, yeah, this way. And the reason I want to do that is that sets up a really juicy building spot right there. Well, that will increase all 3 of our tracks on our technology board. So that's going to be awesome. And in fact, that's not a bad spot either. So we got a lot of good building spots over here. Oh, and I almost forgot. We got a yellow card. And so we have this special ability. We get a food whenever we get a yellow card. Nice. Well, we have one more slot that we can play a card to, and we have a card, so we might as well play it. Let's slide it under there. Nothing there, but the ability we get here is we're going to get a food for every yellow card that's in play. And right now we have 2 yellow cards in play. That's 2 food. And oh, I'm going to forget this. I played a card, so this has to go up 1. So we can double check. We've played 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we gotta keep track of that. It's easy to play a card and forget to move that up. Well, actually, I have this explored spot right there, and that's just 1 distance away. There's also this one that's 1 distance away, and that one that's 1 distance away, and this one. So all of these are 1 distance, and that one. So we could do quite a bit of exploring here, probably. Well, let's go ahead and let's explore here. So it's at a distance of 1, right? Because this is where we're starting the explore. This is where our piece is, so there's 1 hex in between. And it's 2 food. We're going to get a point. And we're going to get to recruit another card. Tempted to get another yellow. Yeah, you know, oh, but if I got a gray, I would get a gear, and then we could maybe build this round as well. Yeah, that's a good idea. When we get a gray card, we get a gear. Awesome. And again, that goes into our active area. Now we can flip. Oh, look at that. So we could put this here, or green. Wow, we could really scream up the green track here with that. That seems exciting. Let's try that. Don't forget to refill the market. Okay, that was pretty cool. Now here's the thing. We could spend our 2 crystals as gears and have 3 gears to build a house. And we even have the food to cover the distance. We could build it right there. But what I'd like to do is to hold out and to build one of these large buildings. Because when you build a large building, you actually get double the reward. So if we could build a large building here, we would actually get 2, 4, 6 movements up the green track. and 2 movements up the yellow track. So that seems worth waiting for. So I think what we're going to do now is, because all of our slots here are filled, we've used our energy, we can't play this card anywhere. I think we're going to call that good, and we are going to pass. We're going to hibernate. And when you hibernate, a few things happen. First, you get all the cards that are over here face down, and you get them into your active area. And that includes any cards that you haven't played previously. You then take the cards in your slots, and you put them over there. You get all of your energy back. You get to reactivate your switch, and you get to move your little guy up the hibernation track. And then you get the reward of that space or any spaces below it. In this case, we're going to get another slot module. I'm just noticing I forgot to refill. Ooh, okay. Interesting, interesting. I think I'm going to get this gear. We'll put it down here, and we'll get a gear. And remember, when you hibernate, you have to move this up 2 times. Okay, I'm obsessed with building a large building right there. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to play a card. It's a yellow card. That's going to give us a crystal and 2 food. And now we can spend the 3 crystals and the 2 gears to get one of our 3 large buildings. Now, it's a distance 1, so we have to spend a food. Ooh, or we could just use that. Ah, yes. Oh, no, but do I want to save my energy? I'll save my energy. I'll spend it on I'll just spend the food. And boom, we're getting 6 green movement and 2 yellow. So here's the yellow. 1, 2. Now, it might be hard to see, but we crossed here. But we don't uncover this yet because this requires 2 things. It requires the yellow to be at the 3 or past, and the green to be at least at the 7, which hasn't happened yet. But we did get here, and so we can uncover this one. And this question mark is going to allow us to place one of these onto this spot. This is going to give us another technology that we can spend an energy to activate. Now, one of the things that's going to score us points at the end of the game are having these beaker icons. And you can see here, 2 of these technologies have that. I think I will grab this one and put it there. And now 6 green movement. So we're uncovering this, which when we put it in here, that's going to give us another energy. Haven't uncovered that yet, but we did uncover that. So we get to pick one of these. Ooh, that's a hard choice. I want all of those. I think I'll take this one. Not only does it have 2 beakers, but that's going to let us actually rotate a card so that we can play, get the top effect even though we're playing on the bottom. I think that could be handy. And then we made it to this spot right here. The yellow is past it. The green has gotten to it. So we get to uncover that. And look at this. We're covering up a spot that's going to let us get one of these artifacts. In a solo game, you have 2 purple, 2 silver, and 2 orange artifacts. You can pick the one that you want. I think I'm going to go for one of these orange, because I anticipate getting a bunch of those energy tokens. Because what that's going to do at the end of the game is it's going to let us score this condition again. We're going to score each one of these, so we'll get a point for every one of those beaker icons that are showing. We'll get a point for every energy that we have at the end of the game. And we're going to be getting a point for every one of these water spaces that we've built adjacent to. By getting these artifacts, we'll get to score that again at the end of the game, a second time. And now we get to do one of these green ones again. Oh, I forgot to fill it. Ooh. Well, that's a hard choice again. Okay, I'm gonna get it. That's too good. Okay. So that was huge. Now what? Now what? Now I want to explore a little bit. Gonna play a card. I tell you what, let's go ahead. You can activate these whenever you want as sort of a free action. So I'm gonna spend an energy here to get one of these. And let's go ahead and get one of these book ones. Right to there. So we'll get a book. I'm gonna explore right here. Now, that is one distance, but I'm going to use my energy to avoid paying the food. It's going to cost 2 food. Get a point. And we get a card. I want to take this card, which when we take a yellow card, we get a food. Boom. And let's see here. What do we got? Okay. Do we care more about yellow, or I think we like yellow. Let's go ahead and go like that. Okay. Now I want to play a card. So it's a yellow card. We're going to get that 2 food, and the other one, 3 food. 1, 2, 3. And if you look at the top of that card, it has some weird embroidery on top. What that means is that we can play a card on top of that one. We can slot a card on top of it. And the best part is, if we were to slot a yellow card on there, everything that was yellow would activate in that area, including the slot module as well as the other card. And so that's what we're hoping to do. We're hoping to get another yellow card so we can activate all that stuff again. And the way we're going to do that is by exploring, of course. We have a couple of places that we could explore. Kind of thinking right here is promising, because we could do a really nice build right there if we could get another thing right there. So let's do that. Again, all of these are 1 distance away, which is annoying, but we're going to have to spend all 4 of our food. Get 2 points this time. And look at that. We reach that spot, which means we get to take one of these crate tokens. Now, we leave it face down, and just as a free action, whenever we want, we can flip it over. I think the only reason you may not want to is if you're sort of filled up and you don't have room for the goods that you might get out of the crate, but we're nice and low, so we might as well just flip it right now. Oh, and we get a slot module. Wow. Which slot module do we want? I tell you what. Let's get this. We're going to put it here. That's not going to let us get it immediately, right? But when we put either a green or a gray card in there, then we'll get both of those. And now we were exploring here. We got the points. Now we get to take a card. Take that yellow card. Get a food. Ooh, okay. That's not exactly what we wanted. But actually, I don't mind being able to place a person right there. That's not too bad. Although, that becomes a really juicy spot. And there we go. We did exactly what we wanted to do. We have the yellow card. We can play it like that. It's going to activate all the yellow stuff underneath it. So we're getting 4 food and a crystal. Now, we did play a card, though, so we got to pop that up. And it feels like exploration time. Yeah, this one's 1 distance away. That one is also 1 distance away. Wouldn't mind exploring up there. We have like 2 great spots to build. And unfortunately, all of our gears are on the top and not down here, although we have gears down here. So we could definitely get some gears in order to build. I think we want to play this card down here. It's green, so we'll get all that stuff, which is a book, a gear, and a crystal. I think we want to build one of these big buildings and take advantage of this awesome spot we have. So, with that in mind, let's explore. Let's go ahead and explore up there. So that's a distance of 1, and then 3 food. We still have 1 left. 2 points, and a card. This guy. That's going to give us a book. Ooh, okay. That'll work. That'll work just fine. Okay, now we have 3 books, which means we could populate. It takes 3 books to do the next level of population, and we could pick any of these lower 3. I want to populate this one. And we're going to do it right here. Now that's a distance of 1, so we have to spend that 1 food. And what this spot lets us do is it unlocks that 5th slot right there. So we can now play a card over there, and you can turn it either way. So you can play it for the top benefit or the bottom benefit. So I think we're going to go ahead. We're going to play another card. We'll get a gear and a food. And then we're going to play another card. It's gray, so we'll get that gear. And we get to move our gray track up 1. We don't quite unlock that yet. We need the yellow to reach the 7. But now we have enough to build a big building. So let's do that. Yeah, let's spend the food to get it into the ideal spot right there. So we get to double all of our rewards. That means we're moving up 4 on the green track. And, oh, we haven't quite unlocked this yet. We just need the yellow to move 1 more, which will happen right now. In fact, the yellow is going to move 2. 1, 2. So this one gets unlocked. And that's going to give us an artifact right away. Let's just go ahead and take that last orange one. So we'll do this 3 times now. This is close to being unlocked. If we can move that green 1 more space. And then lastly, the gray is going to move 2. That's going to unlock that. We put it here. We get another energy. And we get to put one of those in. Let's do that. And you know what? We have this extra energy lying around. Let's just go ahead. Boom. We get to move up 1 on any track that we want. And I kind of just want to move the green all the way to the end of the track, all the way to 12, which is going to unlock this last spot. That's going to give us 2 points at the end of the game for every green card in our deck that isn't one of our starting green cards, just the cards that we've acquired. And I'm noticing we didn't flip our switch, so we might as well do that before we hibernate to get something. Kind of want to do some more building, so I think I'm going to get another gear. We did a lot of good stuff there, but I think we're going to have to hibernate. These cards come into our active area. Get our energy back. Flip our switch. And we move up here. So we could get a point and a crystal, or we could get another module. I like the idea of getting another module. That will give us a crystal right away. I absolutely want to get a module. And I think I want that one. We're then going to play this. That's 2 crystals, 2 gears. We can now build another big building. Let's spend 3 gears, 2 crystals. We're going to go right here. So yellow moves 2, 1, 2. Unlock that. Let's toss that in there. Gray moves 2. 1, 2. Unlocks that. Ooh, I want that one. That's going to let us build at a cost of 2 less gears. That's really great. And then you can see here, green would move 2, but it's already reached the end of the line. And so when that happens, as it shows right here, we just get a book for every one that we can't do. That's 2 books. I don't mind that at all. Oh, and I forgot. We played a card, so that has to go up. Okay. Very hard to remember that. We could definitely get more building done. And we could get more exploring done, too. We need some food. So let's go ahead. Let's play a card. That's 3 food. And a book. And now we have the stuff to explore right there. That would cost 3 food and 2 books because it's a 1 distance. That's fine. We get 4 points. Get another crate. Let's just open it right away. Okay. Crystal and another point. We get a card. Ooh, what do we want? I think I want to get a green card. It's going to give us a book. Ah. Okay. Oh, I don't want that. I want that. Got a lot of green cards here. We definitely want to build. We could do that right now by activating that. That would just cost 1 gear, and we have 2 crystals. We don't have the food to cover the distance. Okay, we're going to play this green card here. Get a point. And we're also going to get a book. And a gear. Now I need a food because it's 1 distance away. So I think we're just going to go ahead and play this. We'll get a food. We'll get a crystal. And that card symbol would let us play another yellow card for free as sort of a free action, which would have been nice, but we're not taking advantage of that. Probably a mistake. But now I have everything that I need to play this person. 3 books, 1 distance to there. And this lets us spend a crystal in order to take one of these cards that we've already played and discard it, freeing up that slot. And that's going to be really useful. I now want to build. So we're going to use this electricity here. That's going to let us build at a discount of 2 gears. We'll spend 1 for the 3rd to build this small building. Boom, right there. So because of this water space, we're going to get another electricity or energy. We're going to get 2 movements up the gray track. And because we built next to one of those crystals, we'll get another crystal. Now, we don't have any more room for crystals, so what we can do is we can immediately sort of make it something else. And I think I'd like to make it a book. Okay, I've got 2 energy now. I'm going to spend 1 to activate that. That's going to let me move one of these up, unlocking that. We put it here, we get another energy. And we get one of these. Yeah, let's get purple. I want 4 books. That's what I really want. So I will just use that so I can flip this and play it underneath upside down, like that. Okay, we're 1 away from the end. That's going to give me 2 books. And not that, but a crystal, which I'll convert into a book. I now have the 4 books. So let's spin those 4 books. And we have a distance of 1, so I'll spend a crystal for that food. I'm going to take this person off because we can just follow that track. And I'm going to place them in that big location. That means we're going to get 2 points at the end of the game for each one of our electricity. So that's going to be 10 extra points. Definitely worthwhile. Also, opened up that space, which is going to give us an artifact right away. So I'll take that purple one and a crate. And let's open it. Ooh, we got a food and a gear. Okay, if I could get 2 more gears. Actually, I have the 2. Oh, I could build. Where are, there's not that many. Well, I guess here. That's a juicy spot. I would like to get the gray up 2 spaces. So that would be a good spot. Yeah, let's do it. Let's build. So 1, 2, 3. It's 1 distance. So we're using all of our resources here. But we'll build right here. Gray will move up 2. So that unlocks that. Now each gray card is going to give us 2 points at the end game as well. And it looks like green will move up 1 as well. That's just going to give us a book. Well, I tell you what, I guess could get 1 more person out, possibly. Yeah, you know, I think we can. I'm going to do that. That's going to let us remove one of these. Might as well remove this one. And then we can spend our last action to play that card right there. We'll get 2 books and a gear. And now, because we're out of actions, we can't hibernate, we can't play any more cards, but we can do any of the other actions. And so let's go ahead and populate. This one costs 3 books, and we happen to have a spot right there that we can populate. That'll at least give us 2 extra points at the end of the game. And there we go. I think that's pretty much all that we can do. All that's left is to add up our final score and see how we did. Okay, so first we're going to look at our purple points. So here on the track we have 16. That gets us to 29. We also have purple points that we uncovered from our population. Each of these is 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have bonuses here. So we're getting 2 points for every green card and 2 points for every gray card in our deck, played or not played. But it doesn't count our starting cards. So let's remove those. You can see they have a big S on the back of them. And these yellow ones don't count either. So it looks like we didn't do too good of a job on that. That's just 6 more points. Over here, we're getting 2 points for every electricity that we have, or energy. We have 5 of those, so we're going to get 10 more points. We're now at 55. And now we're going to get points here for our artifact card. So first off, we're getting 1 point for every one of those beaker symbols that are showing. It could have been on our cards, but we didn't have any. But we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 showing there. And we're going to score that 3 times because we have 1 printed there, and then we got 2 more purple ones. So that's 15 more points. Here, similarly, we get 1 point for each of our lightning. We have 5 times 3, 15 more points. And then here, we're only going to get to score that once. That's just each water space that we built next to. I only see 2. 1 there and 1 there. So that's only going to be 2 more points. And there you go. That is everything. We would also get 1 point for each 5 remaining resources. We only have 1. So there you go. We ended the game at 87 points. We then check this little chart down here. And you can see here, anything between 75 and 100 is considered a minor victory. So there you go. Not great. As always, you come to see how the game is played, not necessarily how you should play the game. So there you go. That is a complete solo playthrough of Revive. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.